The faculty of Galactic Academy had never seen anything quite like Tom. As the first human or Deathworlder, as they classified his species, to be admitted to the prestigious institution, he was regarded with a mixture of scientific curiosity and barely concealed terror. He comes from a planet with 9.8 meters per second squared of gravitational acceleration. Professor Nix whispered to his colleague, Professor Luma. Her translucent antennae quivered in disbelief. At atmospheric pressure nearly twice our standard, how did he not simply explode? Luma's compound eyes blinked rapidly. Tom pretended not to hear them as he navigated the hallway. At 7 feet tall, compared to the average 3-foot height of most species at the Academy, he'd grown accustomed to ducking through doorways and folding himself awkwardly into chairs designed for beings half his size. The Galactic Council had only recently voted to allow species from Class 12 planets, colloquially known as Death Worlds, to join interstellar society. Earth, with its crushing gravity, toxic oxygen-rich atmosphere, extreme temperature variations, and aggressive microbiome, qualified as one of the most hostile inhabited planets discovered thus far. Today, we will demonstrate basic materials science principles, announced Professor Trill, a gelatinous being whose body pulsed with bioluminescent patterns. Each student will attempt to deform the sample material using only physical force. The sample was a simple metallic rod, common throughout the galaxy for its balance of strength and flexibility. One by one, students approached. The avian Cree applied their beaks and talons, making minor scratches. The amorphous gel wrapped themselves around it, applying pressure that caused a slight bend. When it was Tom's turn, he stepped forward with his characteristic caution. The eyes of 20 different species tracked his movement. "Remember, Mr. Tom, apply only what force you believe is safe," cautioned Professor Trill. Tom nodded, took the rod in his hands, and with a quick motion, bent it into a perfect U-shape. The classroom erupted in alarm calls from a dozen species. Several students secreted defensive compounds, filling the air with acrid smells. Professor Trill's bioluminescence flickered rapidly in what Tom had learned was their equivalent of astonishment. That material has a tensile strength rating of 700 galactic standard units, stuttered the professor. Tom blushed. "I'm sorry. Should I not have bent it so much?" The incident was merely the first of many. In xenobiology, Tom's immune system was declared terrifyingly aggressive after his blood sample consumed a standard bacterial culture in minutes. In astronomy class, he casually mentioned surviving a lightning strike as a child, causing the instructor to flee the room in panic. But it was physical education that truly showcased the gap between Deathworlders and the galactic standard. The obstacle course is designed to test endurance and adaptability, explained Coach Vex, a 6-limbed insectoid who moved with remarkable grace. The Academy record is 14 minutes. The course featured climbing walls, balance beams over bubbling chemical pools, and environmental chambers simulating extreme conditions. Most students completed it through specialized adaptations, wings, suction pads, or pheromone trails to mark safe paths. Tom had only his body, but what a body it was. He cleared the climbing wall in seconds, fingers finding purchase in microscopic imperfections. He sprinted across narrow beams that should have required careful navigation. When faced with a chamber simulating extreme cold, he merely shivered and pushed through, his homeostatic systems maintaining his core temperature. 5 minutes and 23 seconds later, he emerged from the final obstacle, barely winded. Is that good?" he asked, noticing Coach Vex's mandibles had completely stopped moving. The faculty meeting that followed was tense. "He's dangerous," insisted Security Officer Blip, whose species evolved as prey and maintained highly developed danger senses. "His skeleton is internally reinforced with calcium deposits. He has redundant organs. His blood carries oxygen in microscopic metal cages. He's practically a biological war machine," Professor Luma countered, "but he displays no aggressive tendencies. In fact, he seems constantly concerned about accidentally harming others." "That's what makes him even more remarkable," said Dean Cox, the oldest faculty member. "A species that evolved on such a hostile world would logically become the most dangerous predators." Yet they've developed empathy and restraint. It's unprecedented. Meanwhile, Tom is making his first friend. Pip, a small fuzzy creature with enormous eyes and 6 delicate limbs, had approached him in the dining hall. "You don't find me scary?" Tom asked. "Terrifying," Pip admitted cheerfully, "but fascinating. You can open the nutrient packets without special tools." Their unlikely friendship flourished. Tom provided physical assistance with tasks, while Pip helped navigate social complexities of interspecies etiquette. The real test came during the Academy's annual wilderness survival exercise. Teams were dropped on an uninhabited moon with minimal supplies and tasked with reaching an extraction point. Halfway through the journey, a meteorological anomaly created a dangerous electrical storm. Team after team activated emergency beacons for rescue, unable to proceed through conditions that weren't in the simulation parameters. Tom and Pip's team was caught in the open when the storm hit. Without hesitation, Tom lifted 2 smaller teammates under his arms, instructed another to ride on his back, and with Pip directing navigation from his shoulder, charged through the downpour. For hours, he carried his teammates, his body a shield against elements that would have been lethal to them. When they finally reached the extraction point, the only team to complete the exercise, even the most skeptical faculty members were impressed. Perhaps, Dean Clux observed, watching Tom gently set down his exhausted teammates, "We have been wrong to fear Deathworlders. Maybe what makes them dangerous is exactly what makes them valuable. Their strength isn't just physical. It's their capacity to use that strength to protect." Tom became the first of many humans to attend the Academy. And while the faculty never quite got used to their terrifying biology, they learned to appreciate having a Deathworlder around, especially when the cafeteria ran out of can openers.